You might know our next guest as the complicated yet lovable Nate Shelley from the beloved series Ted Lasso, but now Nick Mohammed is coming back to our screens as a pixie in the new historical adventure series Renegade Nell. Set in 18th century England, the series takes viewers on a wild ride after a young woman named Nell Jackson finds herself framed for murder and becomes an outlaw. But she soon realizes that the supernatural power she has could also be what saves people and possibly even herself. Take a look.
So, 3 things. 1, I'm on your side. 2, that it's not loaded. And 3, it wouldn't have any effect on me even if it was, for I am non-corporeal.
What do you mean, you're on my side?
Are you sold? Nick Mohammed joins us now. Nick, thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's so great to have you here. You have played so many lovable characters, right? And this particular character, this series, this historical, authentic factor, but it also has this fantastical bit to it that we just saw a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell us about the world of Renegade Nell.
Yeah, you know, look, it's written and created by Sally Wainwright, who's an absolute genius. And, you know, traditionally she has written sort of grittier shows like Happy Valley. But thematically, this is sort of similar, even though it's quite a swashbuckling family series. You know, strong female lead at the heart of it, about social injustice, class warfare, and so on. But yeah, there is this supernatural element where my character Billy Blind comes in. And it's sort of together, he and... well, I call him he, but he's a sprite, really. He's not to really gender him. But together, Nell and Billy kind of have this sort of incredible ability, this sort of supernatural power that they kind of use as a force for good. But yeah, it means that it makes it a departure from Sally's previous stuff. But it's also sort of grounded in sort of a semi-truth, because in the 18th century, a lot of people did believe in some of the kind of the folklore that the show alludes to. And in fact, I think Billy Blind is based on an old story of like an imp that used to like live under the pillow to sort of protect you if you were kind of to protect children and so on. So it is based on a truth, even though it's very fantastical.
It is very different from, say, the role you played in Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
or we could name any other number of things.
Yeah.
Why? What drew you to this specific role? Because it's pretty particular.
Yeah, I think it's like what we were saying before, in that I particularly enjoy sort of doing lots of different sort of things and sort of challenging myself in different kind of ways. And, you know, Ted Lasso was obviously had a particular, you know, that character in particular had its own sort of journey. And this, I remember this coming towards the end of Ted Lasso, and I was reading it thinking this is so sort of different from anything that I've read before. And, you know, there was that supernatural element. I knew that I was going to get to go on wires, which was a real draw because it's been a childhood sort of dream.
How did you bring comedy to the role? How do you mix comedy in with?
It was quite tricky in a way because Louisa and I had to film all our stuff separately, because I was still finishing off on season 3 of Ted Lasso when they were doing principal photography. So all my stuff was green screen, separate. I was lucky I had all of Louisa's coverage to kind of go on, but Louisa literally had like an eye line on a stick, I think, to kind of go on. So we were not concerned, but we just knew that we had to kind of try and get the dynamic right. And, you know, they are a bit of a double act to a degree, because they sort of bicker a little bit at the start when it's, you know, Nell's frustrated as to why he's here. But, you know, they kind of bond over the course of the series.
I just want to go back to one thing you just said. For those of us who aren't actors, that's going to be really difficult when you're not actually acting with the person. How do you wrap your head around that, especially in something like this?
Well, it's a technical challenge more than anything, and it's something, again, it's something that I'd never really done before on previous jobs. But you know, you have so much support from the kind of technical team, you know, the visual effects and stunts people, you know, especially when you're on wires and you've got particular eye lines and particular shots. It was technically challenging, but, you know, still a real privilege and a joy.
And just quickly, without giving too much of it away, how much does your character and how does your character influence Nell?
Well, they go on this journey together. I think they realise quite early on that that his purpose is more than is more there not to just sort of solve Nell's problems, but they might have a higher purpose in terms of there's a whole plot to kind of overthrow the Queen of England, basically, which they have to kind of thwart together. So yeah, they have a much bigger goal.
Well, it's always wonderful to meet someone who you admire on screen and is just wonderful in person. So, thank you so much, Nick.
Thank you
really
very much.
Do appreciate
Thank you for having me.
Renegade Nell is now available to stream on Disney+.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.